One of the silliest arguments floating around in our time: prove to me that Jesus ever existed. Bet. Here we go. If you want to know proof, positive, objective fact, first of all, let's express what objective fact is. Historical sources. Well, they can be subjective. They can be propaganda. I'm talking about proceedings and journals of governments, just like we have in court today. Things that happen in governments. So when you go from one empire to another and the empire crashes, that empire will generally keep the proceedings and journals from the prior so they know what was going on. It's rare that those types of artifacts get burned. Point in case, at the end of World War II, the United States took all the records from Japan and Germany that were left to understand what had happened in those countries. If you want to find out what was really going on with groups of people at a certain time, look at disinterested government bureaucrats. We have today just that, an individual named Pliny the Younger, who the Emperor Trajan appoints a sort of bureaucrat over Bithynia and Pontus, which is in modern day Turkey, but at the time was Asia Minor. It technically still is Asia Minor because it's directly underneath of Russia. We don't think of it that way, but it is. First thing we get is Pliny takes his new government job and he goes into town and he's talking and writing to Trajan about all these random things. This is where you find the real juice about what happens in places. He's talking about public works projects. What do they have as far as public infrastructure? Do they have any baths? What's the society like? Then we come across this section that talks about this individual group of people called Christians. What's significant here is the time period. Pliny the Younger is born in the 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, somewhere in there during the lifetime of eyewitnesses of Jesus Christ. In 112, he is working for the Emperor Trajan. He's not a Christian, but he's talking about this group of people, and what do I do with them? Because they're being persecuted, not because we don't like their God. You have to like our God, as we believe for some reason today. No, the issue is Christians are in violation of law. Because if you look at Roman Empire law, once a year individuals were required to give sacrifices to the Roman gods and have a certificate saying they did it. What should that certificate say? Just so happens we have a historical record of what it should say. It says, I, insert your name, have constantly sacrificed and made offerings and have eaten in your presence the sacrificial meat, and I petition you to give me a certificate. Well, what is Pliny saying? He's saying, we've got a problem here. First of all, most of them are refusing to eat the meat. They don't care about the certificate. What do I do with these people? When they come in front of me, I generally ask them 3 times, are you a Christian? Yes or no. Are you a Christian? Yes or no. Are you a Christian? Yes or no. If they say yes and they haven't got their certificate, they go to jail. But Emperor, other things are happening, sir. Some of these people are buying certificates. Some of them are cheating and saying they're not Christians, but really practicing. Here's what I've decided to do, Emperor. Is this okay with you? And then we have letters back from the Emperor Trajan saying, yeah, Pliny, you're on track, brother. That's what I want you to do. We have more evidence of this occurring via a church council. Another set of records, proceedings and journals, Nicene and post-Nicene Fathers, volume 14, the Ecumenical Councils. There happens to be an entire church council that occurs on this issue in Ankara, modern day Turkey, Asia Minor, where what they're doing is saying, okay, what do we do with all these Christians? Once Christians are no longer going to be persecuted, what do we do with all these people? Do we just let them come back into the church with no issue? Do we say, hey, you lied and cheated, so you're not coming back into the church? What do we do about all this? You tell me that by the 60s AD, government bureaucrats are being appointed and sent to far-flung regions of the empire. By the way, all these pushpins represent places where we know there was Christian leadership within the lifetime of the apostles. What do you do? That's my question to you when somebody says, oh, prove to me that Jesus Christ ever existed. The issue we have in our modern times is we think we're so smart in the internet age, but we're losing tracks of books and titles of books and what exists. The largest issue hurting apologetics is that we don't know what to look for. We don't know that these things exist. We don't know these volumes and these historical records exist. That's the issue. Get yourself some sources and start looking it up because church history is back, baby, and we're going to be learning some awesome stuff. Support the channel if you can. We have Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo, and we don't use our contributions for you to pay me to sit and study church history. Money you send gets help with the other side of Christianity, living it in real life, boots on the ground, mud in the blood, helping those that need it in the way Jesus said, widows, orphans, the poor, the imprisoned, and the immigrant. Help us if you can, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.